to go boss up, get fine, and do it all by myself while raising 4 kids, do you think I'm coming back to talk to regular, smegular old Harry?
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not understanding.
What's up, guys? It's Rachel, and welcome to another video. You can already see what we're talking about today, and I just thought I'd share a conversation that I had with a good friend the other night, because we talked about some things that I feel like are kind of an issue in society today when it comes to dating. So let's get right into it. For those of you who haven't watched the other videos that I posted, or you don't know who I am, my name is Rachel. I'm 34. I have 4 teenagers. Yes, 17, 15, 13, and 12. And I am divorced and single and currently dating. And boy, let me tell you, my God, it is something out here in these streets. So this will probably be part 1 of maybe a few more videos, just simply because everything that I'm going to talk about doesn't apply to everybody. But for this first part, this part 1, I invited the fellas on my Facebook page to come and listen to this, just so we can all be on one accord. Okay, so hopefully this helps you. My friend that I had the chat with, he said that it helped him put some things into perspective. And so we're just going to dive right in. Now, to give you a little bit of background, I've told you about myself, but my friend is in his mid-30s as well. He's never been married before. He has no kids, and he has a decent job, a secure job. Okay, so we're kind of on opposite ends of the dating spectrum, right? Of the dating pool, because you have what I would consider prime real estate, if you ask me. You know, I'm not saying anybody is better than anybody, but realistically, coming from me as a single mother, realistically, it would be ideal for a man who's never been married and has no kids to get with a woman who's also never been married and has no kids. So that's the ideal situation. However, we know that right now the dating pool is saturated with people who have been married before, with people who have kids, and some of us have more than others. So yes, I thought it would be really interesting to share my perspective because, excuse that nail. I thought it would be really interesting to share my perspective, seeing that I am, according to society, the one you want to stay away from. But no, honestly, I just wanted to point out some things that I feel like have gotten lost along the way. And let's start with the conversation that my friend and I had. So we were talking about something. I can't quite recall what brought the conversation up. He said to me, Rachel, if a man comes to you and he says that he wants a partnership and not a sponsorship, how would you feel about that? Now, immediately, I had not an issue with this question, but I kind of did, because right off the bat, the word sponsorship refers to something that has to do with money. And we can actually even get the definition. Let me grab that. Sponsorship, according to Google: the position of being a sponsor. Financial support received from a sponsor. So right off the bat, he jumped into the conversation with that question, and it had to do with finances, right? So his question is, if a man comes to me and he wants a partnership rather than a sponsorship, what would I say to him? Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I am traditional and I am conservative. That's how I really view life, through traditional lenses, through conservative lenses. And I understand that I don't live in the times past, but I do like to carry my life out in traditional manners, in traditional ways when I am able to. And I'm explaining that because I'm not one of those people who is not able to get with the times. I have a clear understanding of the climate of today. I have a clear understanding that society is not where it used to be. People are not where they used to be. Money is not where it used to be. Thought processes and ideals are not where they used to be. And so I understand that. However, when I have my choice about things and it doesn't affect anyone else in a negative way, I typically tend to go down the traditional route. And I wanted to make that very clear. And so traditionally, when it comes to finances in a relationship, man was the primary breadwinner, right? So now that you know my stance on the matter, we can address his question. His question was sponsorship, partnership. Are you okay with a partnership versus a sponsorship? And I said to him, absolutely, positively. Absolutely. I am a woman who is capable of going to work. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't have any disabilities that prohibit me from working a job and bringing income into the household of my family, right? But here's the problem. A relationship is not just comprised of the category of finances. And this is where we start to get into the muddy waters, and men and women can't seem to come to a solution that will appease both of them, because there's not a clear understanding on what the parties involved really are looking for. So a household is comprised of not only finances, but there are children involved. There's the upkeep of the home involved. And then there are just basic decisions involved, right? So with me being a traditional woman, my response to those categories is going to be this. And everybody is different, but this is my view. Financially, the man would be the primary breadwinner. Household upkeep, if I'm not working, I'm the primary person responsible for the upkeep. The kids, I'm the primary person responsible for the kids. The decisions, just basic decisions for the household, the final say would go to my husband. That's in a traditional setting. And notice the terms are different, because traditional versus modern is different than partnership versus sponsorship, right? Because partnership versus sponsorship is just one category. So I told him, if a man came to me, with me being a traditional woman, however, understanding the climate that we live in today, and he said, I want a partnership versus a sponsorship, I'm then going to ask him, okay, you obviously are talking about finances, and I have no problem going to work because I already go to work. However, what about these other three categories? If we're going to have a partnership financially, then when it comes to these kids, we're also going to have a partnership. And when it comes to these chores, we're also going to have a partnership. And when it comes to the decisions of the house, we're also going to have a partnership. And so he says, but men's roles and women's roles are different. If somebody's breaking into the house, the woman isn't going to go downstairs because the man is the protector. And I said, well, wait a minute. We're no longer talking about a partnership then. We're talking about the natural instinct of a man versus the natural instinct of a woman, correct? And he goes, yeah. I said, okay, you're absolutely right. The woman is not going downstairs to see who's breaking into this house. The man is going. But the man is not going to the hospital and pushing kids out of his womb. The woman is. The woman is the childbearer, and the woman is the nurturer of the home, the nurturer of the house. So you see the confusion of these different terms, just basic terms. And my friend is a great guy, don't get me wrong, but he did something that is so common in today's dating scene. Hence why I'm doing this video, because we need to talk about this and we need to sort everything out so that when you go out to a person and you feel the way you feel, because that is your right, you can clearly articulate your views to that person, and you can clearly articulate and communicate your expectations to that person so that you guys can see if y'all are going to be on the same page or if y'all need to just go ahead and say hi and goodbye and keep it moving. That's the point of this video. It's not to change anybody's view, but it's to help you understand what it is that you're even looking for. Because I really feel like that's the problem. Men and women don't know how to communicate what it is that they expect, and it's causing issues. So if you're going to be traditional, then you've got to be traditional in either all categories or be able to articulate the categories that you want to be traditional in. If you're going to be modern and you want a partnership versus a sponsorship, then you need to be all modern, or you need to clearly be able to articulate and communicate to the other person the expectations that you have for these different categories where you want it to be modern. You can pick and choose what you like, but you got to be okay with other people not being okay with your view. And then make sure your view is realistic. So are you going to be a man who wants a partnership financially, but in the other 3 areas of the home that make up the home, you don't want the partnership anymore? Are you going to be a woman who wants this modern husband when it comes to childcare? You want him to help you with the kids, but you don't go to work? So we got that out the way, right? Traditional versus modern, and then partnerships and what they consist of, right? Because they're different categories and you need to be aware of that. You need to fully be aware of which category you want a partnership in. It should be all of them, in my opinion, if you want the modern. You have one person who has no kids and never been. That's prime real estate, y'all. In today's dating climate, that's prime real estate. You are young, you are successful, you don't have kids, you've never been married. Like, you're at the top of the food chain, right? And so you can have your pick. And I think a lot of people in that position, male or female, they understand that. But this is where that can be a problem, right? Because you see the value in yourself. And could it be that you're excluding certain people before you even get the chance to know them, before you even get the chance to see what they have to offer you, before you even get the chance to see if that person can grow with you? You know, could it be that you're excluding people because they don't meet this long laundry list of standards, excuse my nail, standards or preferences that you have made. And so that's really what I wanted to come on here and share tonight. Of course, some men want to improve their emotions. Some men want to improve their communication. Some women want to improve their financial standing, and they probably won't be able to do it by themselves. We've gotten into this habit of rejecting people because they are not currently where we want them to be, and then we brush them off. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty in a relationship anymore. And I explained to him, I said, and because he told me, he said, well, what about women always saying that they want a 6-figure man and this and that, and they want, I said, let's use me as an example. We know the view of society when it comes to single mothers. We're not, it is what it is. I'm aware of it. That's why I'm making, it is what it is. Okay? We know the view of society. If I have to go with 4 kids, if I have to go boss up, get fine, and do it all by myself while raising 4 kids, do you think I'm coming back to talk to regular, smegular old Harry who didn't want to take the time with me to begin with and didn't want to help out because he didn't want to get his hands dirty because I had 4 kids and it comes with a lot? What did my level just rise up to? Ballers, shot callers. And so that's why you have this whole, it's imaginary actually, because people are so focused on social media. I think a lot of people need to get off. You need to take a break. There are good people, good everyday people, and not every woman is looking for a 6-figure man. They were doing something different than what we were doing now, and that's why I'm traditional. And I feel like as long as you are not beating me or as long as you are not physically or emotionally abusive, we can work everything out. We can work everything out. I say that because I witnessed my pastor and his wife have a God-ordained marriage, and my pastor was nowhere near the man that he is today. Nowhere near. He was an alcoholic. He cursed like a sailor, but he loved his wife, my pastor's wife. So many people want to improve their lives, but they can't do it by themselves. That's the God honest truth. Because nothing else that you're gonna say to me will matter. I don't care if you make 6 figures. I don't care if you own a house and a car and all the land in North Houston. That's a deal breaker for me.